Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Today I shall read you a story. Episode 1 of No Choice But to Remember It. Happy Endings. Noah Blake's Diary. Dear Diary, what is a happy ending? It's me again, Noah. I mean, who else would it be? Do I have to introduce myself in a diary? Anyways, it's been something I've been thinking about for a while now. When I was little, I knew what a happy ending was. I know I did. At least, I thought I did. The story would be so clear. A knight goes and fights the boss to save the day. An unhappy ending would be if the knight lost and died. It's so simple. It was so simple. I've been procrastinating writing what happened down here. Not that I was really scared someone would try to read it, although I did want to find a hiding place before I shared. It was more so I wasn't sure how to put down what happened. Still not. But I have to write it down, and at least now I think I've gotten better at describing stuff. To the point where it'd at least be satisfying to get out. So, here goes nothing. I've always liked overthinking things, and for the most part, it's good. You don't want to believe anything, nor do you want to trust everything you see or hear. Plus, when you get the answers, it's nice. I had been thinking about other people. Most lately, my coworker's friend. Well, I'm afraid that does sort of make it sound like I didn't know him well. I mean, a bit. We did one. Well, his name was Hector. And he had gone with his friend for drinks, and I, at the time, was also there. Hector was an academic, and I thought I asked many questions. He was always so curious. Till one day he shut up. Not that I was ever annoyed at his questions. I know some of the others were, but I actually found them quite intriguing. Like I said, I love to overthink things. He was the perfect person to talk about that with. Pretty sure he normally talks to me more than my coworker who brought him there. I thought maybe it was just one of those days, although he did only talk to me still. Although the next time he came over it was the same, and the next. Then he stopped showing up. I had asked my coworker about it. I think her name was something like Sarah, but I don't really remember. But I had asked her where he went, and she said that he hadn't been responding too much at first, and now he won't respond at all. But she didn't think about it too much, because before then he had declined the offer. I'm unsure how close Sarah, if that even is her name, and Hector were. Sure, she took him with her for drinks with friends and co-workers, but they never seemed to talk too much. And she didn't seem concerned about it, saying that he was normally really busy anyways. Maybe I was a bit over-worried over someone that was supposedly just a co-worker's friend, but I'm not sure. I just felt like he was really just... never mind. I knew where his house was. When he opened the door, he looked like a mess. His skin more gray and dull. His light blue hair that's normally neatly parted to one side was messy. His normal colorful suit, and I swear that man only wore colorful suits. Didn't even know where he got them. It was pretty wrinkled, and there was bandages around one of his eyes. He started to cry, and I don't know why. But he thanked me, and still don't really know what I did. I just came to check up on him. Was that it? We talked for a bit. He was only really responding in sort of answers, and I was trying not to push, but something was obviously in his mind. I came over more and more. I even started to stay over. Just woke up, went to work, and came back. No one really noticed my disappearance at drinks after work. Hector was working on something. I know he was. I just didn't know what. The questions kept nagging at my brain, and I couldn't help but worry. It was so comfortable for the first month. That's when we started dating, but I suppose the more I stayed and the more I wondered. Well, I couldn't help but talk to the person who told me they knew. They said they knew everything. Why Hector was worried, what could make him calm again. So I said I'd be there. Still thinking too much. I quickly fell asleep. Well, I remember clearly waking up in the living room, which I didn't think too hard about at the time. But looking back, it should have been more weird because we shared a bed. But I think I was distracted because Hector was sobbing. I'd asked him what was wrong, and he said that I was too far gone. I'd asked him what that meant, and he said that I couldn't seem to die. Apparently, I was gone, and he was worried about me. He went out for the first time in what seems like forever and found me with a knife in the heart. He had dragged me back home. I had no heartbeat, and I woke. I still had no heartbeat. He said he had stabbed me, and then I woke. And he kept apologizing and saying I was too far away. The blood on my shirt and floor said that he was speaking the truth. I'd asked him what he meant, why I was too far gone, and he stared at me with so much hope in his bright blue eyes, which I could have sworn were a bit darker blue before. He looked so different. His skin almost looked like static. Just all of him looked a bit different. But I could tell it was the same him. And he said that I had to leave, that I wasn't safe here. I haven't seen him since. Well, Sarah said that he had died. I miss him. The last thing he told me still haunts me. He said, "I swear I'll remember you for what that's worth." And I think that's worth a lot. I found the person who had stabbed me. I came the next day. I didn't listen. I don't know. I killed them. And I don't regret it. With the way they smiled and laughed like they had darker motives. I'm a knight who killed the monster. I survived. I can't even die. Shouldn't that be cool? And nice? But it's been years. Sarah, if that was her name, is gone as well. Lots of the people I knew are as well. They weren't old, around 30 at the time of this story, and it's only been about 5, maybe more years. Maybe it was because I don't know much people, or because death is so far from me. Maybe I'd be dead around now as well. Obviously, if the whole stabbing thing didn't happen. But now, all I can think of is that if I know anyone else, I'll lose them. I lived. Isn't this a good ending? Because I can't help but think that if I died, it might have been better than now. I can't move on. And I know that everyone is on a timer, but I'm not. My ending should be good. I'm alive, yet so alone. And even if he's gone, I hope Hector meant it. I hope he remembers, because I fear that if he doesn't, no one will.